Another good day. We've had three really, passionate days of practice, I think, with our guys. I like where they are. Kind of told them last Sunday that, they saved some stuff, so we should be times two Saturday night. A good week of practice, obviously playing a great Duke team. I really think it's the best Duke team we've faced since we've been here. On really all three phases of the game, it'll be a challenge. We're going to have to bring our A game to have a chance Saturday night. And also, as Jerry, I'm not going to talk about injury situations, but Kenny is back, ready to go. So I'll talk about guys that I know for sure that'll play, and Kenny will play. And is, I think he's 100%. He looks great.
You had a full week?
Full week. I mean, you guys saw him Tuesday, so and then it was even more on Wednesday and Thursday. I mean, I thought it was really, really good on Tuesday. So I'm excited that, and again, Nick is always ready.
What defines a passionate practice in your mind?
It's a good question. I mean, this game is half mental and half physical, and you can go out there and physically do what you're supposed to do, but you better be into it. I mean, you got to be into the game. There's got to be emotion and energy, and I think we lacked that last Saturday. And you just can't throw your helmet out there and win a football game. You better have the insides to it, and so we kind of talked about that. And again, I think that sometimes goes with your opponent. And some guys turn their emotion and passion off when maybe they're not playing who they want to. But you put the tape on, you watch Duke, you better bring your passion.
Is there a notion to having another team's number, for lack of a better, or regardless of the pedigree of the programs?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think it's sometimes just happens that way. Period. They're a good football team. We've been in some battles and call it luck, call it whatever you want to call it. We got to go play, and I don't care what's happened in the past. Last year doesn't matter. The year before, or the year before that, or the year before that, or 15 years ago will have no impact in what happens at 8 o'clock on Saturday night.
Pat, over these past 5 days, how much do you feel like your guys have sort of internalized whatever lessons came from that Delaware game? I mean, you had talked about not being able to go out there, just put your helmet on and expect a certain result. How much have guys taken whatever lessons came from that game to heart?
I don't know. I don't know what they're feeling inside, but I think they know. I think they saw it. I mean, you learn from your experiences. We all do, and I think when you go out there and you do that, they need to know why, and I think they all know why. I had one guy say, "It's my fault, Coach. I apologize." And it doesn't matter who it is, but it's an attitude that you got to go out there with, and the message didn't get shared amongst the team, and the coaches got the message to them, but then it didn't stick, and and those are the lessons you learn. I think they all know that, internally and externally.
Pat, do you feel like this team is ready for ACC play, not just this weekend, but the next 7?
John, I sure hope so. I sure hope so. That's what we work for. These are the games you want to play in. I mean, besides opening up in the ACC. This is what you're ready. This is what you go. This is what you play for. This is, you can lose every non-conference game. It doesn't matter. These conference games are the ones that matter. We're, are we right where we want to be? No, but we're last year we were 1-1 and won the Coastal. So we want to be 1-1 in the ACC after this weekend, and then just keep plugging away and do our job.
And when you're playing a team like you do, seemingly so many different things offensively, how do you prepare for a team that can do that many different things, and can you throw too much at your guys as you're preparing?
Jeff, that's always the thing you try to juggle, and we'll always go into a meeting, whether it's offense or defense, and say, hey, what do you guys not like? What's confusing you? Because worst thing you can have is a confused football team out there. But they, Duke does a lot of they do a lot of great things. I mean, them adding the option, it's just like, come on, man. So we're practicing Georgia Tech and Duke on the same week, and that's not something you normally do. And you got to spend extra time on the option. If you don't spend extra time on the option, then you're going to have problems Saturday. But then the rest of it is stuff that we've done last week, the week before, as far as stuff. But Quentin Harris is really good at getting that ball out. It's hard to get sacks, so you better cover him up. So you're working on coverage skills, and because you're not going to get home. You can blitz all you want. You're not going to. It's going to be tough.
What can you run down a little bit what you guys would do to pass the time on Saturday?
You want the itinerary? Let me just give it to you.
Whatever you can tell me.
We're going to let them sleep in, first of all. They don't get to sleep in very often. But we'll let them sleep in, and we'll have breakfast, and then we'll have meetings. offensively and defensively, some in the meeting room, some walkthroughs. We'll have a special teams meeting after the offense-defense meeting. Then we'll give them a little break in the middle of the day. They can go up and hopefully take a nap, okay? Probably the same time you get your nap. So, we'll get nap time, which I think is important. Our guys are used to taking some type of little nap sometime between 1 and 3. And then we'll get into our normal schedule, get ready to get over to the stadium.
Just so you know, I shot baskets at Iowa several years ago.
You did what?
I shot baskets at Iowa several years ago. I didn't take a nap.
You did?
Yeah.
Better get one this weekend. You better bring your passion too.
And how much of your ability to run more of a pass-based offense this year, how much has that relied on those veteran wide receivers you have? Even after you lose Trey, you have French and Mack and Matthews that have so much experience.
Well, I mean, it's a big part. I mean, you're going to use your tools. And, 2 years ago, I sat out there down below preseason camp, talked about our receivers, and I thought they were good. We just didn't get the passing game going like it is right now. And we had 2 backs, and the run game is where we fed it. It's always based on that. And then you had a group of offensive linemen that you thought, for the most part, were better pass protectors than they were run blockers. That's we kind of know what we know. We watch tape every day, but we've got to become better run blockers. We got to run the football this week. I don't think we can go down to Duke and throw it 55 times and have a chance to win the game. We've got to be able to run the football.
Does the UCF game give you confidence that if a game does become a track meet or whatever, that you guys are more equipped to kind of keep pace than maybe you were even a year ago? I mean, last year's game with them was kind of weird, and you weren't even a front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, we got to score points, period. I mean, they score points, we got to score points. We got to match their points, whatever it ends up being, whether it's 3-2 or 38-39. But, do I have confidence? I think our kids understand as the game goes on what you're going to do. It's just like, I had confidence in the Delaware game too. We were going to score one more point than they were. So you have confidence in your kids. You're with them every day. Our kids got character, and they're going to find a way to go down there and hang in there. So against a good Duke football team.
Last year's game was a shootout, but after that, it seemed like the defense kind of tightened up, and they've been much better since. Do you think that they were just maybe embarrassed by giving up 619 yards?
619. Thanks for reminding me. You know what? When you watch the game, there's some just some stuff. We just it comes down to focus and details. I mean, you could just watch 2 plays back to back. They lined up in a formation, and the Mike linebacker sitting right there in the A gap. And on the first time they run the play, they ran a fake outside zone that way or fake sweep that way, and the quarterback ran inside zone for 20 yards. The very next play, they come back and run the same exact play, and we make it for a yard loss. And it's the same play, the same defense. It's called focus and execute. Do your job. You bite on all the eye candy. They'll have jet sweeps going. They're going to line up and empty and run jet sweeps everywhere. They're going to do those types of things, but it's just having focus and doing your job. 11 guys doing your job. So, again, just like every week, it's is it what they did or what we did? And sometimes it's maybe they're really, really good. And it's what they did. But for the remainder of these ACC games, it's going to be what we do. It's about what we do on the field Saturday night. Good question.
Has the week provided any clarity to the 3 wars that tail that?
Not really. I mean, we'll find out. You're just asking an injury question, John.
Snuck it in.
Snuck it in the wrong way. It's a depth chart
Jerry
question.
gave me
We'll find out as game comes. Just there's we'll find out.
With David Cutcliffe, the talk around him is always this kind of quarterback. That's this quarterback whisperers guy who coached both of the Manning brothers, coach Daniel Jones. I know that your specialty is on the defensive side of the ball, but as an opposing coach, in what ways is that acumen sort of apparent in the things that Duke does and the way that they operate? Like in what areas or facets of the game can you see that?
You see it in every facet. I mean, just look at the giving up 1 sack. Okay, that's crazy. I don't know how many teams in the country have given up 1 sack after they played 4. That's ridiculous. Alabama got 1 sack. Just so you know, Alabama got 1. They're the #1 team in the country. Could only get home 1 time. And so what does that tell you? I mean, he does a great job with the quarterbacks and their offensive scheme. Period. I mean, and again, they're going to line up and empty 25 times on Saturday. Besides lining up in the Georgia Tech offense, so they're going to spread them all out and put them all in the box and run it. But they're lining up and empty, and they got 5 guys that can protect, and they're taking on whatever it is, and the quarterback's getting the ball out. He knows where to go with the ball. The receivers run precise routes. People got him covered. They still catch him because of his accuracy on where he puts the ball. So it's going to be, a little. We're going to have to play great coverage on Saturday. We really are, because they know where they're going. And they don't do so much. I mean, they added this option, part of their game, but their other stuff is not so much. If you looked at our hit chart, they don't have 1,000 formations. Last week against Delaware, we didn't know what we were going to get. I mean, you got quads, you got stuff all over the place. I don't want to call it a bunch of junk, but they have all kind. Duke's offense is not junk. They run a lot of great stuff, and they know what they're doing. And if you do this, we do that. They've got it pretty good. So that's Coach Cutcliffe.
Because Harris gets rid of the ball so quickly, are teams, the first 3 or 4 teams, backing off a little bit and not wasting time blitzing or chasing?
Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than blitzing 6 guys up in there and then just watching the ball go that way over there. Like, Coach, why don't you send me over there? But then they'll hurt you when you do that too. So, got to mix it up.
Have teams been backing off, or are they still trying to?
No, they're still doing the same thing. I don't think you do what you do. I mean, I don't think you can change a whole bunch. You got different packages in that you'll put in against them, but for the most part, you have to play defense.
You said you need to play great coverage. How would you assess your coverage through 5 games?
It's been pretty good, besides some, nitpicking holding calls, which really bother me because they haven't affected the play at all. Whether it's an overthrown ball, we just got to keep our hands to ourselves and play with discipline there. We can't give them 5 first downs by penalty.
I know you talked a lot about the penalties from the Delaware game on Monday at your press conference, but how do you kind of take stock of the first 5 games in totality? I know you're looking ahead and all that, and don't want to relive the past, as you said Monday again. But how do you take stock of those first 5 games and kind of where you guys are at this point?
I'll do that after 6. How about that? When we get an open week, again, without an open week, you really are moving on to the next week. But I like where we are. I mean, you opened up in the ACC. I don't think we played our best game. I wish we could play them again tomorrow. I'd like to play Duke at noon and Virginia at 7:30 if I could. I think we'd have a different story. I think Duke is a really good football team, so I want to play them first. But I just don't think I think in the ACC you play a game like that, and the opener just doesn't. One team's going to be happy and one team's not going to be happy, and just they didn't play their best game either. So I know they got a lot better since then as well. But we had a lot of young guys playing that game, and then you look at the Penn State game. We played okay, but just didn't make a play that we needed to win that football game. So I like where we are. I like this football team. I like the character. I like the adversity they've gone through. Really the last 2 weeks, really 3 weeks for that matter. Our kids are going to fight till the end. That's what you got to love about them.
Anything final?
Will the ACC refrain from scheduling conference games in the opener now, or maybe
Probably.
give you a break next?
Probably not.
But maybe you won't have to do it every year.
I don't know. Just they give me the schedule. I say thank you very much, and we go take our toys and go home and play with them.
Pat, there's a bill that's due to be proposed in the Pennsylvania State Legislature about college athletes being permitted to profit off their likeness. I don't know if you're familiar with it or if you have an opinion.
Craig, am I familiar with that?
Well, I had asked you about California.
I'm a little more familiar with it, but guys, you guys get to go. I mean, you're on your phones looking at Twitter and check it out. I really don't know. I've heard that. I heard Florida. I heard California. There's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know much about it. I don't want to speak, on something that I'm not educated on. If I'm educated on that, Duke will kick our tail on Saturday if I'm reading about that stuff. But it just seems like chaos. I think it's chaos. I think our kids should be paid. I think there's got to be some type of, structure to it. It can't be, the local hardware store says I'm going to, get Chris Peak. He's my guy. I'm giving him $1,000 a week to play, and he's going to do a commercial for me. I don't know what they're doing, but it can't be like that because then someone else is going to come in and say, I want Chris Peak to play for me. Hey, Chris, we got a hardware store and we got a liquor store that we're going to, start sponsoring. I mean, where does it end? I think it's recruiting. I mean, all I have to do is get all the boosters, around, and then it's just like they're offering. It just sounds like it's going to be chaos. And if it becomes that chaotic, I'll be going to the NFL where there's at least a salary cap and everybody's playing with the same rules. I mean, I'll be in the NFL. that stuff's crazy. So that's about all I got to say about that topic.
All right.
Did Tipton have surgery?
Trey Tipton's out for the year. He had surgery. I forgot that. So,
This week, yeah.
yeah, yesterday morning. It's today, Wednesday
We-
morning.
Is he gonna get another year, you think?
Yeah, I think he's got a chance to, if he wants to get that.
Mhm.
So it's, again, another tough deal for Trey. He's an incredible kid, and again, we'll miss him on the field and off the field. He's one of our leaders, and kids really respect Trey.